Welcome to HT TV News. I am Mrs. Alcocer, your principal.
And Mr. Hutchison, your assistant principal.
I'm Ms. Castillo, your school counselor.
Mrs. Hayes, second grade teacher.
I'm Mrs. Keith.
I'm Miss Amaya, second grade teacher.
And I'm Miss Johnston, second grade teacher.
We are so glad to be joining you this way on this beautiful, fun Friday, April the 24th, 2020. So we have a few announcements today, and we are sharing the screen with our second grade guests. So welcome, second grade guests. It is so good to see you. They even coordinated their outfits today. And if they'll show us, they've got showing their Highland Pride for a Friday. So we love it. We love it. We didn't get the memo, Mr. Hutch and Christy, but love your Highland Pride. Good morning, pre-K.
Good morning, kinder.
Good morning, first grade.
Good morning, second grade.
Good morning, third grade.
Good morning, fourth grade.
Good morning, fifth grade.
Good morning, staff, and good morning to our parents as well. We're so glad to see you today. All right, so let's get to our announcements. First, we have the weather.
Today is going to be sunny and nice, 70 but windy.
Awesome. Well, don't go blow away. Don't blow away.
Not at all. And Mrs. Amaya is going to remind us about curbside pickup.
Oh yes, curbside pickup. Don't forget it's Thunderbird, Hillcrest, Ash, Plainview High School, Lakeside, Date Street Housing.
Thank you, Mrs. Amaya.
Yes.
Yes. Hold on to those trays so they don't blow away.
Don't forget to visit Date Street Housing, because remember, our cafeteria ladies are the ones that take care of that area.
Yes, they are. All right, my quote today is, friends are like stars. You can't always see them, but you know they're always there. So in this time, our friends are always there, even though we can't see them and spend time with them. Also, our seniors are our friends too, and I have gotten a few pictures of congratulations from them. So please keep sending those to me so we can get them to the seniors so they can feel our friendship from afar.
Yes, we have a few, don't we?
Yes, we do.
We love to see those samples of student work. So we're going to be looking at some a little bit later today. So thank you for sending those in.
Yes. All right. So we have Miss Huffon's challenge again today, and it's supposed to be a little warm. It's not as warm as it was yesterday, and it's supposed to be windy, but can you guess what today's challenge is? Anyone?
Go outside. Maybe,
Yes,
because
that's
you mentioned weather.
Yes, yes. Yes, and if you have a yard, this will help within the yard as well. So you have to go out and pull weeds, pull at least 20 weeds, but you can't bend over to do it. I mean, you can't lean down to do that. You have to bend over at the waist each time you do that. So so you're going to be pulling 20 weeds while bending at the waist. So bend over, full of weed, stand back up, I would imagine. Who's going to
Good exercise. And your parents might increase the number. You never know.
or you might enjoy it.
Absolutely. We have some birthdays to celebrate for Mrs. Keith.
Yes. Reagan and Aubrey and Zave. Happy birthday, guys. We wish it was our birthday so we could party too.
Hey,
Happy birthday.
congratulations, guys. Happy birthday.
Awesome.
Okay, and Mrs. Hayes has some national holidays for us.
Yes, so it's National Pigs in a Blanket, National Teach Children to Save Day, National Arbor Day, and last but not least, National Hairball Awareness Day.
It must be important because they are dedicating a whole day to it.
Yes.
Yes.
If you have a cat, then you would know what that means. Yes. Did you know Arbor Day though? 'Cause it's Arbor Day. Do you know what Arbor stands for?
Is it plants?
Something like that, yes. Bigger than plants. What's a plant, but it's larger than a plant. What, AJ? This is
The
a
tree. Tree.
yes, a tree. Tree, yeah. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that trivia.
Well, on Wednesday, remember it was Earth Day, so
Yes,
fitting that today we have Arbor Day.
absolutely. Okay, and Mrs. Amaya has some student work that she would like to share and tell us about.
Yes. So before we went on spring break, we were doing research in class. Each student had a different animal and they did research on their animal and they were supposed to do a diorama. They were going to return to school with the diorama. Since we haven't gone back, some of them have been sending me pictures of the diorama that they did. And I wanted to share that because they did an awesome job.
Can you explain what a diorama is?
A diorama, it's pretty, well, they did it in a shoebox, so it's small. And they did the habitat of their animal. So you'll see an example in a little bit of a diorama. It's just where animal lives, the habitat. Now you're about to see an example of a diorama. First we have Jacob, and he did a Komodo dragon, and Gemini, and he did the gray wolf.
Okay, we love those pictures from Jacob and from Gemini. Thank you so much for sharing those with Mrs. Amaya. And we also have a video ready for you to watch as well. This is Hema, and she studied a panda. So we get to see her talk through her diorama.
Hi, Miss Amaya. I did my diorama and I really wanted to show you. So this is my diorama. I hope you like it. And I also wrote some facts. Wait, I think I'm on the wrong one. A habitat is the natural home or environment of an animal. Pandas live on mountainous parts of central China. A panda's diet is 99% bamboo and 1% meat. Pandas are solitary animals. That means they mostly live alone. Panda mothers care for their cubs for around 1.5 years. Pandas live to be 20 years old. They can grow to 4 or 5 feet long and about 275 pounds. So I'm going to tell you about my diorama. So I got these sticks from outside in my front yard, and I also got some rocks I found in the dirt. And this is bamboo. We use paper to make it like stick to the ground, and we use tape for the leaf. And we use like paint for like the grass. We did like logs because we thought it would be like nice to have logs and a panda sitting on it. And I thought that was a good idea for them to eat them. So I really, really like this diorama. We also did the back side green and these blue. I also took some off and I put some right here. And my mom was happy because she liked it. And well, we had too much rock, so my mom just put some on the outside. Well, I hope you like my diorama habitat. Do it the Highland way. Be successful every day. Have a great day.
We love that, Hema. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. A round of applause for her and for Gemini and for Jacob. Thank you so much. If you have some work to share with your teacher, we would be happy to display those as we can coming up in future announcements. So thank you, Mrs. Amaya, for bringing that to our attention today.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love the attention to all the little details, the rocks. She just went outside. She didn't have to go necessarily to the store. She went and found some sticks and rocks and made it a part of the scenery there.
It's awesome.
Okay, we have a wheel to spin, Mr. Hutch.
Ooh, let me share that with us so we can find
And
it.
while you are pulling that up, it is so good to see all of your faces without masks, because the last time we saw each other just earlier this week, you all had a mask on, and the second grade team also has coordinating outfits. Can you show us your coordinating outfits today? They have their Highland Pride going on. So our Highland Pride t-shirt, we love it.
Awesome. I have the wheel ready to go here.
It's close. We'll have our student support team joining us for our next surprise guest. So we will be looking forward to recording announcements with them later next week.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
Okay, I have, when we have guests on, Mr. Hutch and Ms. Castillo, we like to play a game with our guests. And so we actually have a game ready. So today we're going to play Hive Mind. Now, does anybody know what a hive mind mentality is and what, maybe what I'm referring to when I'm talking about a hive mind?
Maybe you should ask those students that were doing the dioramas.
I know, that'd be something. I wonder if anybody researched a bee.
Oh, you just gave the answer away.
I sure did. So a hive mind is to have a like mind with the group. So we're going to be looking for like-minded answers in our group. This is actually a board game, but we are adjusting it to play here on our announcements this morning. So the goal is to try to think identically and try to stay in the hive. So I'm going to be looking at all of my guest faces, and I want to be thinking how they think, maybe not how I think, but how everyone might answer. Okay?
You know what?
All right.
Hey, have you ever watched Star Trek?
No.
Anybody? No? None of you have watched Star Trek, the new Next Generation.
That was before our time.
Oh my goodness. Captain Picard and Riker and all that, and Data. Anybody watch that? Come on, students, you got to help me out here, because
Maybe they've watched it, and hey, I bet it's available somewhere for some of us to pull it up if we're not familiar with yet.
well, there's an entity on it called the Borg, and they think collectively just like the hive as well, and they fly around in space with this big cube.
Yes, and it's important for the bees in a hive to function together as a single mind, just like those characters are functioning together. The bees in a hive function together. So we're going to try to function as a single mind today. So we're all the bees. Okay. And point system. So boys and girls, if you play this at home, you would get a point for the answers that you have in common with everyone else that you're playing with. You could play it with one other person. You could play it with a bigger group like our group here today. So try this game out and let us know how it works. You could even use our questions that we're using, or you can come up with your own. Okay, so are all of us bees? Are we ready? Okay, they are ready. So our first question today, and I know Mr. Hutch is going to play some fun thinking music during this time. So our first question today will be, What 3 things do you think your students are doing today? We'll give you a few seconds. What 3 things do you think your students are doing today? Okay, and a thumbs up when you have your answers ready. And we're waiting on Mrs. Hayes. Does Mrs. Hayes have her answers ready? Awesome. Okay. All right. So on the count of 3, we can show our answers, and then we're looking for like answers across all of our boards. Are you ready? 1, 2, and 3. All right. I see lots of similar answers. So choice boards. Choice boards is similar. Playing outside, relaxing, and watching TV. So if you will circle the answers that were alike, and that's your number of points.
I already circled mine.
You did. You were ahead of the game. It's like you had,
circle it again.
it's like you already knew it was coming.
I don't have any. No.
So I had 2 points, and Maya has 3. Mrs. Hayes has 3, Mrs. Johnston 2, Mrs. Keith 3, Mrs. Castillo 3, and Mr. Hutchison, he has 1 point. It is a very important point though, because it's choice boards, and we hope that you are working through your choice boards during each week.
We need to write our score down next to it.
You can. You absolutely can. You can use tally marks. Or you can use dots, or you could write the number.
Okay.
All right. Question 2. Question 2. Okay, so question 2 is, what are 3 ways to fill in this blank? And Ms. Castillo, would you frame this question for me? What are 3 ways to fill in the blank?
What are people buying the most right now?
During the quarantine?
People buying the most of right now? 3 things.
Okay, we'll give you a few seconds for answers.
I think we all know that answer.
All right, on the count of 3, let's show our answers. Are you ready? 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we're gonna circle our like answers. Does that say eggs, Mr. Hutch?
Yes. Does it show backwards on mine?
They look like 6s.
No.
Okay, so like answers, I see, what do we see that's a like, Miss Castillo?
Toilet paper? Yes. Paper towels,
Lysol.
Lysol or Clorox wipes, food, hand sanitizer. Anyone else? Water? Good.
Okay, so tally up your points there. Okay, Mr. Hutch, share with us our 3rd question.
3rd question is, let me get to my question real quick. Sorry. Okay. All right. What are you missing the most right now during quarantine? What are you missing the most right now during quarantine?
All right, get those answers down. All right, and a thumbs up if you're ready for answers. All right, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, Mr. Hutch, talk us through our like answers.
All right, looks like we have my students, our students and staff. That's kind of the same, right? Looks like family is seen
Can I
there.
read mine? I didn't put students.
But we know you miss them. It's a
Yes.
given.
I do. They go in their friends and family.
They're our friends.
That's right.
Family, yes. Awesome. What else we got? We got family and friends. My students. Yep. So circle my students. Thank you.
AJ, you and I got church.
So church is, you got a couple there. There's church. I put social interaction. What about restaurants here? We have friends and
Oh,
family.
I did that. I didn't see yours. I have restaurants.
All right. You have restaurants? Is it?
Yes.
All right.
You, my friends. Yep.
You have yours all up there?
I do. Okay, so we're going to all tally up our points. Okay, and if you have a clean little spot in your paper, you can maybe write your point number.
Total?
Yes, your point total from all 3 rounds.
So
Okay,
you
so
could-
let's see those.
you can normally have someone keep score, right?
Yes, someone could actually like write names down and then keep score. We just kept our own score today. So the object of the game is, remember to think identically and stay in the hive. So the winner, there isn't necessarily a winner, but we want to see who maybe gets out of the hive. So the bee with the lowest amount of points leaves the hive. So that would be Mr. Hutchison.
Hi, see you later. You get to do announcements by themselves for the rest of the week.
Oh no, we need you. Never mind. You are readmitted. You are readmitted into the hive. So you can again play that with your own questions. The possibilities are endless. If you play a game, and this is again Hive Mind, we'd love to hear about it. So let us know.
Yes.
All right. I think that is it, Mr. Hutchison, for HHT TV News today. Do we miss anything?
I don't know. Every time I say we didn't, then we do. So I'm not saying anything. This was like not it.
Okay, I think that is all that we do have for HHT TV News. We're so glad to have our second grade team on. If you will wave to our second grade team. I know they love you and they miss you. We all do. All right, I am Mrs. Alcocer, your principal.
Mr. Hutchison, your assistant principal.
Miss Castillo, your school counselor.
Mrs. Hayes, second grade teacher.
Mrs. Keith.
Miss Amaya, second grade.
Mrs. Johnston, second grade.
All right, and we are all reminding you too, and say it with us, do it the Highland way, be successful every day.
Have a great day.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a great
Friday.
weekend.
Bye.
Yes, great weekend. We'll see you Monday.